Самые козырные это кованые.
Кованые?
Да, но они стоят, извини. И литье стоит, извини меня, не маленько.
А в чем это самое преимущество? Что штампованные, что ли, или ты штампованные?
Нихера, ребят.
Типа сейчас подрежем чуть-чуть. Завалишь машину, что
Бесплатно прокатиться решили.
Мне кажется, они не прокатиться решили.
Немножко прокатиться решили. Чудо. Сейчас мне пиздячек вставит.
Сейчас какой-нибудь товар скинет. Картина маслом.
И на Репина приплыли.
Поебал.
Водила-то ведь услышал, что там забрякала машина. Думаешь, не услышал?
Размотает.
На регистраторе снят.
Ой, его просто находится.
Stealing in the store. He thinks she's stealing, so he about to spray her.
You're not police. Look at my purse. You're not the police. You're not going to search me. No, you can do it.
I'm in a plane. Very serious, no plane. You know what I mean? Very serious.
You're not going to take my purse.
You know what? Because you're not playing.
Right.
I got him on record.
No plane.
Right. Wait, what the? Hold on. Who's not the police? You're not going to hit me like that. Nigga, you done back the fuck up.
Okay.
No, you
I
ain't
swear to
gonna
God,
say
back the
nothing.
fuck up.
First of all,
Hold on, back the fuck up.
Okay.
With that, if you
Okay.
spray
You
me
give
back,
me my merchandise and you're walking outside.
I already bought. Right.
You put
And
it
I put my
inside.
bag. These are yours to
Sweetie,
keep.
I'm in a plane, okay? I'm in a
It's
plane.
going down.
Right.
Give me my merchandise.
Right. You can go get your own merchandise. Your shit is over
In the
there,
beauty
bro.
supply.
All your shit is right
On
there.
66.
Give me my merchandise.
Straight hood. He's trying to spray the girl.
Let go of my purse. Let go of my purse. Let go of my purse, though.
It's going down.
I'll give you all my shit. It's in my purse. Let go of my shit. Okay, let go of
Look.
my purse. Let go of my
He
purse.
won't even let her go.
Let go of my purse.
Anyway, the police will be here.
That's all I got. She's right. Okay, okay.
Oh, you really had it?
That's why.
Oh.
Look,
She had something?
he said no. Okay, you go.
Oh.
Say no.
It's good.
Y'all got me recording for
We
nothing?
get ransom, go back.
Oh.
Tell me I bought something, so you better calm down.
Oh.
It's in 2 minutes.
All right.
Well, it's either being in the right place at the right time or the wrong place at the wrong time, depending on who you're talking to in this story, because a would-be robber is stopped in his tracks when a Dayton police officer walks in mid-crime. Megan O'Rourke live with the amazing video.
Michelle, Dayton police officer Joshua Campbell's only been on the department for 3 years, but this morning he experienced something few officers will during their entire career. He walked in during the middle of an attempted robbery, and the whole thing was caught on tape.
Shortly after 2 a.m., Dayton police rushed to the Salem Avenue store on reports of an armed robbery, but the suspect made a quick escape and was gone by the time officers arrived. That robbery is what brought Dayton police officer Joshua Campbell back to the store around 5:45. He returned to pick up store surveillance to aid in their investigation.
So I just kind of stood back and waited for her to get done with her customer.
But watch what happened next. The suspect reached over the counter and tried to grab money out of the drawer. Campbell couldn't believe his eyes.
Basically, I was like, this can't be happening right in front of me. I mean, because I'm pretty sure he looked right at me when I walked in the door and everything like that. And I'm like, I can't, yeah, what's he doing? So my first thought is to get him on the ground and see what's going on.
Despite Campbell's weapon being held to the back of his head, the suspect, now identified as 55-year-old Donald Cotton, continued to fight. The two men fell to the floor and the cameras captured Cotton hitting Campbell several times. The struggle eventually spilled outside, and that's when store employees got involved, grabbing the suspect's backpack, which officials say contained a hammer and box cutter.
I mean, it was a great help because there for a while it was kind of me and him, and I needed, all the advantage I can get.
With the manager's help, Campbell eventually gained control and took Cotton into custody.
The suspect is basically what you would call a career criminal. He's got an extensive criminal history. He's 55 years old. He's been arrested numerous times for financial crimes like forgery, burglary numerous times, thefts. In this case, he was, committing a robbery.
Campbell calls it luck, being in the right place at the right time, but police officials say his actions were outstanding.
Definitely responded like a police officer should. He saw a robbery, immediately took action, confronted the suspect, and cuffed him up and brought him to jail. So, yeah, he definitely did the right thing.
Now tonight, Cotton is being held at the Montgomery County Jail. He's charged with aggravated robbery, assault on a police officer, and obstructing official business. Reporting live, Megan O'Rourke, 2 News on your side.
A Gwinnett County man's in jail after police say that he robbed a QT gas station right in front of a Snellville police officer. That officer was standing just feet behind the man as he demanded money from the cashier. It's all on video. Channel 2's Craig Lucy shows us what happened.
It's 10 in the morning in this busy QT station off Scenic Highway where you can see Snellville Lieutenant B.W. Brown walk by on the left side of your screen. A minute later, 21-year-old Stephen Daniel walks up to the counter demanding cash.
Yo, give me all the money in the right now. Give me all of the money in the
As the manager of the QT gathers the money, customers are still paying for things. And even though you can't see him from this angle, Lieutenant Brown is right behind Stephen Daniel, just watching.
I know what's going on, but he's not dumb enough to do this with me standing right behind him.
The manager is smiling throughout the whole robbery.
The manager was laughing at the time he was putting the money in the bag because he knew he was standing there looking at me over the guy that was robbing him.
As soon as Daniel turns around, busted.
I got a hold of him by the shoulder and walked him outside, placed him under arrest for robbery. It was a comedy type thing.
So much so, everyone in the store started laughing, and you can kind of hear it on tape.
Well, Stephen Daniel did get his ride to Lawrenceville, but to the Gwinnett County Detention Center. He was not armed, so he is facing a robbery by fear charge.
A would-be robber gets quite the surprise at a liquor store in Marionville when he pulls a gun on the clerk. The clerk then pulled his own gun on the man. Laura Kennedy spoke with that clerk today and joins us with the story. Laura.
Right, we have surveillance video, and it's short but to the point. Most of us wouldn't be calm and collected at the barrel end of a gun, but lucky for John Alexander, he was prepared. John Alexander is a clerk at the Beer 30 liquor store. He was working a typical shift Sunday night when things got interesting.
A gentleman could come in the door there, smoking a cigarette, and I asked him to take a cigarette back outside. So I just pulled the gun out from behind him and said, "You need to give me all your money."
But the would-be thief learned quickly he picked the wrong guy, a former military police officer packing heat.
And I pulled my weapon up and put it up against his mouth and told him, "You need to get out of here before I blow your head off." Back right on out the door.
2 days later, Alexander's bold moves are the talk of Marionville, and the store's owners are pleased that they hired a security guard and a clerk, all in one.
I think it's a situation where everybody has to determine what they're capable of handling. I wouldn't recommend everybody do it. You have to have a little training to be able to do stuff like that.
Training to make split-second decisions. From the time the man walked through the door, Alexander says the whole exchange was only about 11 seconds.
You never know exactly what to do, you just hope you do the right thing.
With 30 years in the military under his belt, Alexander says he's used to high risk.
Any place that deals in high volume of money is a target. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody does try to attempt it again sometime down the road.
And if they do, John Alexander will be ready. The police also have that surveillance video and are still looking for the suspect. My full interview with John Alexander is posted on our website, ozarksfirst.com, and you can also watch that surveillance video attached to this story.